Hey everyone, welcome, I am MisterBo, and we finally have a brand new gameplay trailer for Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled, which you'll be seeing on screen now. Now, not only that, it seems that different outlets have been able to play a demo of Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled and are uploading straight up gameplay of it in action. So in this video I've taken clips from different videos, all of which I will leave links to in the description below so you can go and watch the full gameplay, but I'm going to be picking out a few different clips and images from certain gameplays to take a look at and give you my opinions on. Firstly though, starting with this brand new gameplay trailer, there isn't really anything new and special in it. Of course, we've been getting glimpses of some of these tracks for the past few weeks. I think the few takeaways from this trailer is that they're using sort of classic voice lines. Obviously, they're being re-recorded and updated, but the actual lines of what the characters say are staying true to the original. For instance, we hear Cortex say, "The trophy is mine." We even hear a little bit of Engine when he gets hit, and we also get a proper good look at Engine this time around. We've only really seen him small in a few screenshots, and well, he's looking really cool. No glimpses of any of the boss characters yet, we'll have to wait on that. So let's move on to some of the gameplay. Now it seems like the demo that some of these outlets got given allowed them to go onto Crash Cove, Dingo Canyon and Polar Pass. Now in these gameplay clips they're all playing against the AI, except for when they're playing split screen where they'll obviously have another person with a different controller playing against them. So firstly, let's take a look at gameplay from Variety. Again, links in the description below. Now we get to see the intro of the race. In the original, it would zoom around your characters on the starting line. This time around, we get a sort of little fly through of the map, and then it does the kind of classic zoom around your characters. We get the starting lights pop up on screen. Again, very faithful to the original. And it's just really cool seeing what we remember from the original just all updated. Now it is worth noting that in most of the gameplay that's come out, no one is exceptionally good that I've seen so far. No one is really using the slide mechanic or boosts to their advantage. The gameplay is looking a little bit slow, but hopefully we'll see some better gameplay soon, or we'll actually be able to get our hands on it. That would be really cool to see. So we can't really make any judgments for how it feels because it's a little bit hard to tell. What we can tell from this gameplay though is that the tracks seem very faithful. Obviously they've been updated with new visuals and looks, but in terms of how the carts seem to be handling around the corners and just the layout of the tracks is really cool. So let's talk about the UI and the HUD. Now going back to Variety's gameplay, which they've got a full 16 minutes of gameplay, you can go ahead and check that out. They show us a glimpse of the menus, and this is what it looks like. Now we don't know if this is final, if this is just for the demo, we'll have to wait and see. Personally, I'm not really much of a fan of this at the moment, but it might look a little bit better when we're closer to launch. So this is the character selection screen for the demo. One thing to note is that it says all drivers, and then you can kind of flick between that, and you can change the character selection screen to show beginner characters, so Pura and Polar, and then eventually Ripperoo. Intermediate, in which they have Crash, Cortex, Coco and Engine, and then of course Komodo Mo and Pinstripe, and then finally Expert, where they have Tiny Tiger, Dingo Dial, eventually Papu, and I would assume Oxide as well. We get a good look at the characters sort of on this podium here. The models are looking really detailed along with the carts themselves. They've done a really good job with this. However, my one little gripe and my one sort of complaint, but hopefully they can either change it or maybe I'll just get used to it over time, is the icons for the characters. So the icons in this menu as well as the HUD when you're actually playing in game for the characters is kind of a snapshot of their 3D model. Now of course in the original it was the sort of 2D art, and I'd like to see that be brought back in Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. Have all these icons be the 2D icons that we saw in the Insane trilogy, because I think that would fit a lot better, and it's what they've done for the weapons as well. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the UI. So here is a snapshot. We can see along the left hand side we have the positions, which of course move around when people are overtaking. That's really cool to see. They are of course using the same font from the Insane trilogy. I've kind of gotten used to it by now. I think it really fits with the Crash Bandicoot branding, so I'm happy with all of that. Now I don't mind the 3D Wumpa Fruit, that's kind of what we had in the original. Maybe you could do with a little bit of brightening up, but that's just a minor thing. As we can see, we have the weapon at the top middle of the screen, and well, that's a 2D icon, which kind of makes it look a bit weird next to the 3D sort of icons of the characters. So yeah, Beanox, I would maybe just change the icons for the characters to 2D, again with them on the map. Kind of looks a little bit weird when they're all moving around. The turbo bar looks completely fine, I'm really happy with that. And then we can take a look at the speedometer. Of course we have the jump bar and the little counter. A weird thing is that now when you look at the speedometer, instead of getting rid of the minimap, it just puts the minimap above the speedometer so you can have both on screen at the same time. We don't know if that's going to be an option where you can turn that on and off, but that's a cool little change. So here are some screenshots of the different weapon icons. You can see the bomb icons, the missile icons, the TNT crates, the nitro crates, the potions, the warp ball, the clock, even the Uka Uka and Aku Aku mask, and of course the green bubble shield. Here's a clip again from Variety of Engine using Uka Uka, and I must say the animation of the shield going round is just bringing back that nostalgic feeling of popping one of the masks and just ramming into everyone and getting them out the way. One of the weird changes, which probably actually works a little bit better now, is when one of the characters pops one of those green bubble shields. Now instead of being an actual bubble around the character, which didn't really fit over the characters completely in the original, especially for the larger characters who kind of poked out of that, mainly Papu, whose head just stuck straight out of that. The bubble this time around is a lot bigger, which means it kind of clips into the floor and makes it look like more of a dome than a bubble, but I think that's a good change, otherwise you'd have characters coming out of it again. Here's a nice little clip from one of the IGN videos showing the warp orb in action. As you can see, it goes through the track and you can see it on the little minimap, passes through everyone and eventually obviously hits person in first place. Again from IGN, here's a clip of Polar here using the blue bubble shield and then firing it into engine. And then I think the final thing to note is the end screen. Again, we don't know if this is final, but we see a little thing where each person, as they cross the finish line, comes up and you see the time that they managed to finish the race in, which I think is a cool addition, because obviously in the original you could only see your time and none of the AI. And of course with the brand new edition of online multiplayer, that's going to be a very useful feature. We do also get a quick glimpse of split screen. Here's the character selection for split screen, and then here's what it looks like in game. Pretty much like the classic, you have the minimap in the middle of the screen. So along with all of that brand new gameplay, we also did get a few brand new screenshots as well, so we'll quickly take a look at them. I'm not going to do comparisons like I normally would. If you would like to see comparisons of previous screenshots, all my previous videos, I've gone into the original CTR, I've tried to line up the camera as best as I possibly can to what Beanox has given us and showed you the comparison between the two. So there'll be a link at the end of this video, or again in the description below, or in the top right hand corner to my previous video showing you some comparisons between Polar Pass. I've also done Cortex Castle, Tiger Temple, as well as Papu's Pyramid and Dingo Canyon, so you can go ahead and check that out. And of course, I'll be doing full drive-through comparisons of the original compared to Nitro-Fueled when the full game is out. So those are the few brand new screenshots, and then Beanox even did their own comparison, so you can see the original on Polar Pass compared to the brand new version of Polar Pass. They've even tried to line up the AI as well, which is really cool to see. Again, they are doing an amazing job with these tracks. They all look so good. Of course, I will leave links in the description below to all the different videos that I've actually used clips from here. Everything I'm seeing is great so far. I'm really loving it. Again, my minor complaint is the icons for the characters, but of course we're still 4 to 5 months away from the launch, and I'm sure Beanox have still got plenty to do. I would assume we're still going to be getting the images each week, and then I think maybe we'll probably either get some more tracks next or a glimpse at either online or battle mode. I think that would be really cool to see. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does this gameplay get you even more hyped? What do you think of the menus and the UI? Let me know in the comments below. It would have been really cool to see some of the podium finishes in this gameplay, but we'll have to wait for that. So there you have it. If you guys enjoyed this video, or if you found it helpful in any way, feel free to give the like button a big old hug. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments below. You can also feel free to subscribe for more gaming content and coverage. And if you do, be sure to boop that bell icon to be notified when my future videos go live. But thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.